get started? You ready, Eddie? Okay, Eddie, just go ahead there and tell us all about this.
The first item is just to approve a CRA application for Robertson Construction. He put up a new building out there, new office building out in front of his old shop out on Thornwood Drive. And he submitted the application about a month ago, a couple weeks ago.
Are you on that committee?
No. You meet all the requirements and everything and all that kind of good stuff.
You,
Yeah, he requested a 50.
Deb Cole.
you're a committee of one.
Well, I mean, that's CRA on that side of Thornwood Drive, where his property is, that what you're talking about?
Mhm.
Everything over
The
there?
whole strip of
Mhm.
Thornwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions about this? I'm gonna go ahead and approve it.
He's on the committee on the CRA committee.
Closing out the stipulation. Let us into his office building every year.
Is there a recusal in here somewhere or not? It's kind of cool.
Who's on the committee?
Christian Robertson's on
On
the
the CRA
Oh.
committee, he's on the CRA committee.
But if you want to know who's on,
Deb Cole's on
Please,
there.
Brian and Deb, yeah, Deb's working late, I don't know about Brian, but Deb's working late, she got forced
Brian,
overtime.
that's right.
Deb got forced overtime tonight.
Well,
government,
enough here.
government job? What?
She'll never make it.
CRA, what does that mean? CRA?
Community Reinvestment Act.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, usually go over to finance, send it over to, hand it over to, yeah. Have I signed that?
That one, I think.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Memorable moment.
I was gonna, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got with me before I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Disney World kind of
Good cover.
fogged the memory a little bit there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Good cover.
It's mouse ears.
Can't believe you didn't know your ears.
You know, I bought them. Yeah, they had. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, but you got a light agenda, so I'll throw this on. All right, so we. Hey, Kit, how you doing?
All right.
You've been a stranger.
Yeah.
Thought you didn't like us anymore.
Well, no.
So when I think the first time I went to Disney, I was like 4 or 5, something like that, and I remember 2 things I remember. Number one, it rained. And my parents bought my brother and I yellow ponchos with like Goofy and Donald and Mickey on it. And the other thing was I got the mouse ears, and it was like, you know, the Mouseketeer ears, just black felt, black ears, little. Well, Emily wanted to get these Minnie Mouse ears. It's kind of like a headband thing. You put it on like this, and it's, you know, the bow. And so we're in the store, so I see these mouse ears like when I was a little kid. So there's, you know, like some here and some here and some here. So I grabbed the ones from down there and I look at them. So I go to put it on, and it looked like a yarmulke on my head or something, right? A little thing like this, and, you know, strapped across my chin. And I said, this doesn't feel quite right. And Emily said, yeah, you look goofy. So a lady came by, and I took it off, and I'm looking at the thing. She said, can I help you? And I said, well, yeah. I said, I wanted to buy these, but they seem really small. So she looks at it, and she says, oh, you have the infant size. We've got the adult, we've got the youth, and the infant. So I had the infant mouse ears. When I try, so then of course I made the correction and got the adult one. And had a.
So you were trying to retro back the exact same size.
Yes, apparently. Yeah.
I can see that story on a headline on the front page tomorrow.
There you go. So yeah, it's so funny. We had a great time, but driving in, you know, they're like driving the road and there's the arch thing, you know, welcome to Walt Disney or whatever it says. We're driving underneath the arch. I look over at Natalie and I said, let the fleecing begin.
Grab your wallet and hang on, baby.
But we had a good time. So anyway, there you go. There's my CRA story.
Still $30 to get in?
The Village of the River Oaks has submitted a dedication plat for a water line easement across their property. It's only for phase 1, but you just have a legislative request for us to accept that.
well.
John Geller talked about that, at the last meetings, utilities and stuff. And I take it the reason we're doing this is because we're gonna take the water line and we're gonna maintain it and keep the water lines and the hydrants and stuff in the village of River Oaks.
Yes.
Is that, that was
Back
happening.
when the project was initiated, this was one of the things that was discussed. Now, people who were involved in that conversation, they're not around.
Yeah.
But we think that one reason for the topic coming up was the fire department wanting to ensure that the hydrants inside the community would function properly if anything ever came up.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of been a long time getting there, and this is for phase one. But after meeting with the developer and the the condo association representatives, we got hammered out what they needed to submit to us, including that, in order for us to start to wrap up this process. How's Brian?
Terrible, terrible.
Feel terrible?
Yes, summer cold.
I was gonna say allergies.
No,
Oh.
cold. Cool.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. You can send me home if you want. Feel free to send me home.
But Brian, we did just talk about this, accept the dedication plat for the water line easement for phase one of the village of River Oaks.
We're gonna have.
All right, thank you. My apologies for being late, everybody.
No problem.
Assuming Deb will be here.
Anybody else have any questions about it? Okay, go ahead.
Third item is, right now, if you go to the street department, Dogleg Road dead ends right before you get to the street department. There's, to the left of the street facility, there's, I think it's the old Humane Society, and then the County Animal Shelter is beside that. Well, the property for the Humane Society actually juts out into the road, and you have to cross across their property to get to the street department. Our entrance is pretty much on their property, or a portion of it. So, in order to get an easement to cross that property into the perpetual future, that property owner has basically made an agreement with us if we pave his parking lot, which is just a small portion of by the road, he would grant us that easement. So I have a legislative request to appropriate $6,875 in capital improvements to pave parking lot.
That's pretty much the amount we were talking about before. Yeah.
You were saying something about that a while ago. Did you say something about that dog leg easement there?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of said what Eddie had just
Yeah,
said. This
that's
is
what I thought.
by the street department and that gate that we have into the street department is actually over our property line. So.
Oh,
Yeah, real quick, I know we mentioned in the meeting, we talked about that we would just give him the funds instead of paying to have it done. Is that what we're doing?
Well,
I don't know how it's
I
wrote,
don't
but we
think
talked
those
about.
details have been worked out yet.
Okay, so it doesn't matter the way the legislative process wrote. We can either give him the funds or pay to have it done.
before you came in,
Sorry. Yeah.
then that's okay. We were talking a little bit. The idea is that we don't want to constantly be coming back on if this isn't quite right or that's not, whatever. We want to do it, be done.
Right.
And that's been conveyed to him that
That
understanding.
number is based on the
Very good.
he had.
Yeah, good.
And has the easement been written? I mean, the easement's been written, except, or, okay.
We just have to get signed off on. Check it.
We're not maintaining it, we're not Hold harmless type of situation. Once
It's
it's paid,
basically
it's
gonna
done.
continue as it is now.
It's done.
Then he's gonna take care of his part of the bond, we'll just pay excess costs.
What was that total amount again?
$6,875.
I mean, it's
Less than $7,000. Pretty much cost them $7,000 for
Yeah,
that perpetual easement.
$6,875.
How many bids do we get?
Yeah.
Who's the bid from? Well,
Law General Contract. Green Solutions LLC. Put together on. I think one's doing the sub base and then
One's big.
one's doing the paving.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, Eddie, go ahead. That's it. Anybody have any questions? Okay.
Let me think for a minute. Seemed like there was something, but I don't remember what it is now.
Oh, is that the water line that they're putting under the street up here by, that strip mall? Right before you get to.
Talking about on
Precious.
79?
Oh, back before you get to Precious.
No, you talking about item number 2 on the agenda? Or you just asking about what that is?
I
You just
saw
wonder
it
what that-
like this, put the connectors in there.
Yeah, there's a part of old 8-inch piece of main that we're basically bypassing, and we're gonna be able to cut it off and take it offline.
I thought
So,
that's what it was. Well,
That's all.
no more questions, we're over 5:42.
3. First.
Did you guys talk about number 1? Robertson?
number 1, yeah, that's just an application for a CRA, for, is it office building, office space?
Yeah.
There on his property on Thornwood Drive.
They built an office right in front of him.
Yeah, we're not, this is done.
Right.
The money is all part of, yeah, I just put it in our conversation piece.
Yeah, it really sounds rather right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Hey, Mark,
All right.
That's the
so
one.
4 or 5 new buildings.
We were hoping to have the contract, and then we didn't get it. and
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Get done.
All right. Everybody have a finance agenda? One? Okay, 5:44, we'll call Finance Committee to order. The first item is actually not a legislative request, it's just kind of another item. Yeah, you want to talk about that for a second?
That's the contract from Park National Bank that we were hoping to have back on June 15th. We didn't get it, now we have it, so it has already been in our law director's hands. It has been passed around, and it's just something that will be, it's on the yeah, it's 55, ordinance 55, 2015, that you guys will have tonight. So I just wanted to put that back on there because we kind of got skipped 2 weeks ago.
And we want to waive that, right, tonight? So
That's
pass with
correct.
the others.
Yeah, if you recall, there's 3 ordinances
Right.
that are kind of wrapped
All
up into
joined
this.
together. But this one doesn't have any money attached to it.
49 and 50 are the ones that were read in the previous meeting that are tied to purchasing the truck. So yeah, we would ask council waive second reading on 55. That way all 3 of them get voted on tonight and we can proceed with telling Pierce to get rolling.
How about that paving project, the 57?
I'm sorry, what's this?
Oh, you're going through the agenda.
Oh.
We're still on finance.
Yeah, we're still in finance,
Oh,
please.
Oh, no, it's not on finance, no, I was just looking at.
And then the other item that I have, our capper is completed. I've received an email, I'll get everything printed out, sent to the printer. And, I'll have to be able to pass those out hopefully by our next meeting, if not by the end of the month. But it's completed, and, Wilson Chan Snow in the state has, confirmed everything, so we'll go through it when I get it printed out and put together, as we've done in the past.
Okay, and then obviously, for redundancy, the three items that we just went over. Out of your committee, please, the CRA, River Oaks water line easement, and paving project for the street departmentization. Any other comments or questions? Anybody else on those items? Anything else for finance at this point? It's a 3-minute meeting. It's over 7. Wow, we were rocking the night.
Want to go ahead and do caucus?
Yeah. Can you beat 3 minutes?
Mhm. No, because I want to talk about a bunch of these. Let's see, invocation, that Cletus, your turn?
Okay.
All right. I think Dick, just, if I could look at the minutes to see who did it last, if it's in the minutes. Oh, well, never mind, we'll just go with Cletus a bit. Yep, Morrow did it.
Yeah, Dick did it last time.
All right. Member from Water Department with delinquent accounts. So that'd be you, Mr. Morrow, for the delinquent accounts? Send them on to the auditor and then also move to receive and file them. Introduction of ordinances, the first one, 55, we just talked about that one. Want to waive that? Okay.
You want me to do it?
Yep. You just said.
Okay.
All right. And then the next one, the change order on the paving. Do we know if Heffley's going to be here or not? I mean, he wasn't going to be here, was he?
I haven't heard from him in a while, so I don't know.
I was thinking he wasn't going to be. I thought he was up, but I don't. Now that I think about it, he wasn't going to be here.
He didn't say anything to me about that, but I was asking Mark.
I'm trying to remember.
Or shall I ask Bob when he comes in?
How about Cletus? If he's not here, will you do that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just have you doing it. You know. Then if he shows up, we'll do it. Okay.
How late was Deb working? Do you know?
Said until they got all the tickets processed, but see, they'd had everything Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, and stuff, so. They did, every time they have a holiday like this, yeah, they force overtime until they get them done. Usually she's
Back
done.
in the day, we got them done by 4:30.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, ordinance on second reading. The first two, again, are the fire trucks, so that would be you, Mr. Johnson. And the third one, yes, is with additional police power, that's Mr. Johnson. And record retention and disposal schedule. Who wants to do that one?
I can do
All right, great. That's pretty much it. Now, anybody have any questions on any of those? Anybody? Anybody? All right.
3 minutes, you're done.
We're done.
Wow.
Now I can tell Deb she can wait until 7:30. She can work till 7:30.
There you go. Slow down,
Well,
Deb.
7:10. Give her time to get here.
True.
Is that fire levy renewal?
Oh, no, okay. You talking about 50?
Yeah.
What that is, I'll call it Cletus. Ken, we've got, we're buying a new, rescue truck in the fire department. This is one of the items that we talked about needing to be replaced when we had the fire levy on the ballot last year. So we have money, and we have enough money in the current fire levy to be able to put 100 down on it, which will save us then some money on the rest that we're financing. So that's what that is. It's to appropriate that $100,000 out of the fire levy. So we'll cut that check up front on the truck.
Quite a big amount we saved them, if I remember right. It's a respectable amount of money we're saving, if I remember correctly.
And then the so, like I said, there are 3 different ordinances kind of involved in this. One was to appropriate the money, 49, that's to appropriate the money for the entire truck, 100,000 out of 50. And then this ordinance 55 that's being introduced today, this is an agreement, a 5-year lease agreement between the city and Park National Bank. That's how we're gonna finance the remainder of the cost of the truck. And I think, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you got it in your notes or something. Didn't Chief Huggins say that if, we were able to, put all the money up, we saved like another $20,000 off the truck or something? Brought it down to like $515 or something like that was the cost? It was something like that.
It was, like I said, it was a respectable amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have the exact number, but I can get that.
Okay.
So wasn't it almost the cost of what the lease cost was going to be over the term? Was it something that was proportional? I think Jay's going to give us that answer in a minute.
And so,
With the
as
higher
we
levy.
make these annual lease
sat there and
payments
The
on the
actual cost
truck,
of the lease, Park National would charge.
the revenue from the levy
What we were saving.
is
Saving the same thing.
part of that
So really
revenue
getting
from the new
complete.
levy is what's going to be going
Just right
to
on,
make those
basically.
payments.
Yeah.
So no new levy already.
No.
We're basically getting free money in advance of.
Has the chief mentioned
levy
anything
money
about
coming in.
mutual aid to Newark? Has that
Once all said and
increased
done, which is a win-win.
since Newark staffing is
We're changing.
down?
I'm trying to, gosh, no, I mean, we're going back to, his committee would have been June 8th, so, and I've traveled quite a bit since then, so you're gonna tax my memory here, I'm sure. Every month in Chief Huggins's.
Yeah, it usually has those stats.
Yeah, he'll have the statistics. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have specifics for you. I can tell you. I think generally, our conversations have been that our fire runs providing mutual aid to Newark have increased over the past, say, year or two. I don't have any hard numbers for you. That's something, if you're looking for that, we'd have to kind of compile that for you and try to put that together.
Well, I can talk to him, or his meeting will be what, a couple of weeks?
His meeting will be next week.
Next week, okay.
Yeah.
Second one?
Yeah. That's Thursday, we walk up West Main Street. Park.
When we were out in California for our anniversary, we went hiking.
You see Jessica? She's out there. You see her?
Who?
Jessica. You see my daughter out there? She's in California.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
You know what though? I did think of her though when I was out, because I was driving by. You'd see the USC license plate thing, and I thought, yeah, Tim's daughter graduated from USC. But we were hiking at Malibu Creek State Park, which is like Malibu Beach is here, and then there's a mountain range, and we were kind of like in a canyon there. And we didn't really know, we just asked the concierge, what kind of, we wanted to go hiking someplace, what they have. He mentioned this place. Oh, okay, great. So we drove there. We didn't take any water with us. And we get there, and this state park has back in the back of this property used to be the 20th Century Fox Ranch, And so they filmed different things back there, but one of the things that they filmed back there were the camp scenes from the television show MASH. And I love MASH. I thought it was a great show. So I said, come on, Natalie, let's go see this. 2.5 miles out. 2.5 miles back. No water. I mean, my fingers on my hands were swelling, and when I went like this, it felt really weird. I mean, I was getting like sausage fingers, and so. You know, I didn't have much saliva. I thought, oh, this is how you dehydrate to death. So we get done with the 5 miles. We get back to the trailhead. There's a spigot, pipe coming out of the ground, a spigot, whatever. So just getting like a few handfuls of water, drink. I mean, the relief was like that, and I thought, wow, that's how. I was beginning to dehydrate. But it was like, 92, 93 degrees, dry as a bone out there. Just so.
What kind of smile is on her face?
You probably thought he was.
I know.
In vacation.
Oh,
He's going through the.
But
Oh, I knew I'd do that.
I know.
Took him off like fire.
I bought you one, drank mine. It was sitting there, and I said, well, if Doug's not coming, I'm gonna drink before it gets warm. But if he shows up, I'll buy him another one. I'm gonna buy another.
Yeah.
So yeah, we hiked in this, and it was like, so it was about 93 degrees, and then, so it was like maybe 1:30, and Natalie had heard of this place out on this pier in Malibu that was a restaurant. So we drive, on the other side of the mountains. We're by Pepperdine. It's like Malibu Beach, Pacific Coast Highway, Pepperdine University, which I thought, well, that'd be a good place to go to college. But so we get there, we park, walk on this pier. It's like 72 degrees out on this pier. So it's like a 20-degree difference just because of the mountain, separating the beach from inland. It was amazing. You turn on the weather, local news weather, you're seeing some temperatures in the 70s and some in the 90s, and it just depends on where you're at in the mountains and stuff.
But I think California is the most unique state we have.
Probably.
I wasn't there very much, but in San Francisco and Los Angeles, I spent a lot of time in, and they're both interesting cities.
We've gotten, obviously, a ton of rain here, but those folks out there are dying for rain. Just dying. There was a day when, when you go on your iPhone, the little weather app thing, it gives you an hour by hour. There was a day where there was, for a 2-hour period, there was like a 50% chance of rain, is what it had on it. For just 2 hours, 50% chance. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I mean, they just had there was no chance of it. Hey, Ken?
Yeah.
Are you taking off?
Yes.
Do you, is this something you want us to try to get some information together for you?
Hopefully, I don't know if I'll try to get to next week's meeting or talk to the chief in the meantime.
Okay, all right. I can try to give him a heads up of,
Yeah, that would be
of
that's
what
very
you're
good. Yeah.
of what you're looking for.
Right.
So are you wanting some sort of a comparison of like mutual aid runs, like in the past 2 years compared to the 2 years before that, or like 1 year, this year compared to last year,
Any
or
kind of comparison with because their staffing's gradually gone down.
yeah.
I mean, they had 19, then it was 16. Now sometimes it's 14 on duty citywide.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, any kind of historical, what it's like now and what it was like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah. Do you know, we do EMS billing and they do EMS billing.
Right.
Our EMS billing, to put it kind of real quick, our EMS billing you have to pay. My understanding is that their EMS billing, if you don't pay it, they don't really pursue you the way that we would. And we've done before, if somebody really has, usually the insurance company cuts us. Sometimes the insurance company cuts the check to the insured, and then they're supposed to give it to us. But there are cases, where, I mean, it's a true financial hardship. And I've set people up on like $10 or $15 a month payment plans, you know, just to pay the thing off. But my understanding is that Newark doesn't have theirs that way.
I know sometimes they forgive it sometimes for a hardship.
Uh-huh.
But I
But,
think
no,
it's-
but my understanding is that if you don't pay it, even if you don't have a financial hardship, if you don't pay it,
They just don't pursue it.
that's what I had heard. Have you, did you have any
I know
knowledge
they
of that?
mentioned the hardship thing, that it's a judge, the safety director, I guess, makes a judgment. But I hadn't heard that they, weren't really pursuing it.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Yeah, that's something I'll check on. That.
Okay. Like I said, I mean, with Heath,
You sent them like a letter, 2 letters or something, and then.
yeah, it's something like that. And we use,
Well, and there's parts that's missing
a billing service for that, but yeah. And if it's not paid, we take further steps then to get it paid. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, but I like the.
I have also just totally written them off before,
One section where they had.
and I mean, I'm sure I could count on one hand the number of times that I've done that. Because, most times when you're talking to people, can you do $10? Can you do $50? Can you do that? All right, well then do that. And, if it takes 2 or 3 years at $15 a month or whatever, we're not trying to,
I think we've been there longer.
blood out of a turnip or whatever, so.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a good question.
You know, a lot
Ask
of,
about that. It's been, with fire departments, it's been one thing after another, it seems like.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like through the years, I've written so many times about.
They're looking,
staff.
we looking at part-timers?
That's what they're proposing, but the union's probably gonna file a grievance.
Well,
They set things parallel to the Bible.
here's the thing with a part-time program.
And all that stuff.
It's funny you asked that.
And in fact,
Firefighters need gear.
those old guys.
That gear has to be fit to fit them. I mean, I think it's like every year or something like that, our guys have to be refitted for the gear, because people get heavier or skinnier or
Do you have
whatever.
volunteers or part-time?
We have volunteers.
don't have volunteers.
We don't have part-timers. We would have to pay for the gear for each part-timer, right? Each part-timer is different. And so it's not like you can have just 5 sets of gear. And hey, you're gonna wear this, right? If the mask doesn't fit you right, if it doesn't seal right or whatever, you can't wear it. So, if you have to buy gear for each part-timer, that gear is expensive. And then the other thing about a part-time program that I would think would be difficult, it's their part-time job. In all likelihood, they're either working a full-time job in another department, or they're what's sometimes called a full-time part-time, where they've got like 2 or 3 different part-time gigs lined up. So, let's say I'm a part-timer for West Licking, and I'm a part-timer for Newark, and West Licking's paying me $1.50 an hour more than Newark, or whatever it is. Well, if I've got a choice between 2 shifts, I'm gonna work the one that and if I'm supposed to work Newark, but I get a call from West Licking that a part-time shift open up, I'm gonna not do the Newark thing and work and certainly if I'm a full-timer somewhere, if my full-time job says, hey, we have an overtime that either A, we're asking you to fill, or B, we're ordering you to fill, well, you're gonna drop your part-time, in order to do the full-time. So just the management of that scheduling could be a headache.
And it's already a headache managing all their schedule with the Kelly days and everything like that.
Yeah. How does a Kelly day work?
It's, if you work, it's unpaid. Without the Kelly days, you'd be working, it'd be 56 hours a week. So it takes it down to 48, so it's an unpaid day off, like 170.
Exactly, that's
3 weeks or.
Oh, okay.
which
month
is-
or something like
I
that.
got it for 6.
Automatically scheduled?
Breakthrough between the,
They're aluminum arrows.
Uh,
And
What about the volunteers for you guys? You
I
have to
guess
pay for
there's a
years
lot of
with
people
them though?
buy
Is
those.
that, is
on it?
that a big cost for you guys? Or how many volunteers?
That's a good question. We do have some expense for volunteers. I don't know that we have to buy. I don't know that we have to buy a lot of their turnout gear. But we do have some expense for the volunteers.
Yeah, Newark's talking about 20 part-timers, so, yeah. What would that cost?
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah, like I said.
Fire department's a unique animal, it really is.
It is. It is. Well, and here's the other thing too.
I bought a Target because
Let's say
Right.
the gear gets damaged.
it rips.
You gotta replace it. You know, I mean, if you're in a fire scene, which it happens rarely, but if you're in a fire scene and your turnout gear is damaged, you can't use it
I'll do that.
anymore. So you gotta. I mean, I'm just wondering if they have thought about that kind of stuff. If these kind of things are entering into the conversation. I'm sure Chief Connors, he knows. He knows.
I was gonna say, you got
Seems like they're getting desperate. I don't know if they, I kind of think they know the union's gonna fight this. I don't even know if they expect to win. But
Well, without the minimum manning, I don't know on what footing the union would fight it.
I am.
Now,
I don't think he's gonna
Doug, how
probably
you doing?
go back.
you have an issue of,
Just don't look like this.
from their standpoint, I would think, you're gonna have an issue of, well, just how well trained is this
Hang on,
guy?
see what-
disability and,
And,
Yeah,
you know, the
I
way
have
that,
mine for
the
disability,
way that
but I don't
we
know, I'm gonna try it.
operate, our operating procedures are not exactly the same as Newark's operating procedures, are not exactly the same as West Licking's operating procedures. The way that you operate this type of pump on this truck may be different than the way that you will operate the pump on this truck from this other department, you know? So, as a part-timer,
He was,
you gotta keep, you would have to keep these kind of things straight in your head. You know,
Plus-
where am I working today? Oh yeah, we do this here, and we do it, but we do it that way
and
there.
there'd have to be a lot of training for all those guys too.
If I was a full timer, I sure would want to make sure that they knew
I
what
mean,
the heck
even if
they
they're
were
trained
doing
elsewhere, you'd still have to train them.
on how you do it. Yeah, you know we have when we hire somebody into the department, they have to be a firefighter paramedic. They have to have those certifications, but just because they have those certifications, it takes 3 months, maybe more, to train them on how to before they know it well enough that they could cover somebody's overtime shift on a different crew.
Somewhere out in Kansas or something like that.
It is a long
They
process.
started doing a burnout like that, I go,
And so now you've trained the part-timer, and now he gets a full-time gig somewhere.
Right. Well, that's what a lot of people are saying. Are you just training them to go to wherever? Pasco, East?
We used to have a part-time police dispatcher program.
I said, well, I'm glad you brought it up.
We got rid of it a few years ago, in part
Thinking the same thing.
because of that issue. By the time that we got the part-timer in, got the part-timer trained, and then of course we couldn't force the part-timer to work, you know. So the part-timer was kind of picking and choosing shifts that were available, and then the other ones we'd have to fill with overtime anyway. But by the time we kind of got through all that, if they were a good dispatcher, well then somebody else would swoop them up.
And they're probably looking the whole time they're
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. Or they go through us, they get trained, and they realize, hey, I don't really like this. And then they quit.
Yeah.
And so now we've just spent all that time and all that effort, and now we got nothing.
If you'll help me get to my car.
Yeah, the
make sure
union
I get
claims
in
that
there.
it's a trend is going the other way. Like Beaver Creek, Ohio was one that had a part-time program did away with it.
I know sure
They claim other cities have
I
too.
said, this is no place,
But
I don't
a
know.
man or a kid.
You know, the bottom line is that
I thought
it
the
is,
same thing then, because they were
it is,
over
it
there,
is an increasingly
they had all cars do something themselves,
expensive
and they were spending
service
money
that, you know, that the community
Well, and
needs,
there again,
but it is extremely expensive.
well, you knew the union would fight it because they're talking non-union part-time.
they don't want to.
Oh, absolutely.
So-
Absolutely, yeah, I mean, you couldn't,
The city had to know it was gonna
You know,
get.
the one I told me
Yeah,
one
it's-
time,
Maybe they even expect to lose, but then they could just check that off as, well, we tried this.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, I haven't really had any in-depth conversation with Mayor Hall about it, but it's, I understand the problem.
9 weeks today is kickoff.
They're hoping to limp through with 14 as the
I see.
minimum, as the policy, but nothing,
Well, that
nothing
little
in,
soccer
I mean, they're
team
not
is
required
good if
to.
you're-
No.
But, and then use
Did a
what
number on
money
it, didn't
they
it?
had
Yeah.
to hire new
That first
firefighters.
5 minutes,
Not
I
hire
think
new,
they'd
and
get
just use that to
Japan
pay the
in, they
overtime
didn't know
and
what
get
hit
through
'em.
the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
I've never
But
seen a
They
soccer
said all it
game
takes is one major
get out of hand
event,
that quick.
one big fire or something.
Man.
Yeah,
Well, the first
they could do it.
2.5 minutes, they scored
Well,
2 goals?
I-
Something like that.
You know, we
Whatever
have,
the figure was,
we
it
have
was- it's the
24-hour shifts,
fastest 2 goals.
so we have
in.
3 crews.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to,
My son, you know, he's on the soccer.
if you're really
team.
going
St. Edwards
to
up in Cleveland.
make a dent in the amount of overtime
Randy,
that is required, now we still have a minimum manning of 5, you know, in our contract. If you were really going to make a significant dent, well, then you would have to hire 3 full-time. You'd put 1 on each crew. So instead of running with 5 on a crew, you'd have 6 on it. And then if somebody wasn't there that day, you just wouldn't replace
And
them.
that's Chief Connor's argument that, okay, I have 150,000 I can use to hire, well, that would be like maybe 2 firefighters.
Yes, that's
So
the thing.
That's not enough
That's
to
the,
dent the overtime.
that's right. When I have crunched the numbers for us, when you consider salary, and I wasn't just looking at first year salary, you know, I'm looking at, they get an increase second year, they get an increase third year, you know, so I'm looking at top out salary, all right, long-term solution, top out salary, plus benefits, you know, pension and all that wrapped in. It did
Oh, okay,
not,
yeah.
it saves it saves us more to have an overtime
It's not 13
than
extras,
to
it's an
hire
extra
the 3,
salary.
you know. We would not save enough overtime hours to make up the dollars and salaries and benefits and such that we would be paying
When
out.
Newark staffing was in the like mid-80s, when they had like 85, they reduced it. It was almost $1 million one year, and they reduced it to like under 200,000. But then they had staffing up in the mid-80s, and now it's 71.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you could hire 14, reduce overtime, but how much?
Exactly.
Is to hire
Well, and
14?
that was the argument that you know, that was kind of the thing that I was saying. It was just like, look, we're not just talking. I mean, what we're talking about here are dollars and cents, right? If you're spending $300,000 a year in overtime, but your solution is to spend $200,000 in overtime, but increase your base pay roll by $150,000. Well, now you just lost. You know, so whether it's in overtime, whether it's, you know, total payroll expense, I could never get the math to show me that it made sense to hire 3 more firefighters and put 1 more on each shift. It didn't work out. It's you know, it's the scheduling and it's a very complex thing. I mean, we've looked at going to 8-hour shifts. We've looked at go to 12-hour shifts. You know, it's just it is hard.
Yeah, and make sure heads are trying to understand.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you want to have, I mean, for them, obviously you want to have a consistency to your work schedule, right? So having a 24-hour shift, 3 different crews, you know, hey, every third day I'm
Get
on.
up and down, wasn't it?
And
Right out.
you know, when you're
And I
if
just
you break it
put
into
on
12-hour
there.
shifts,
I
or
didn't
it just
even
gets
weigh 100
a lot harder and a lot more convoluted, and you don't have your crew, your team. Sometimes you're working with this group, sometimes you're working with these guys. I mean, and they all work well together, but it's also good to have your crew. And you know what strengths are, and you know what the
Oh,
weaknesses
chief
are.
there is looking at some of the sick leave, kind of questioning whether it's legitimate or not, but how do you,
Oh,
Yeah.
they think they're playing some games
Well,
that way?
he's looking at some things where, okay, you have 2 vacation days, then you have a work day, then you have 2 more vacation days, and then all of a sudden
I'm
that one
sick.
work day, you're sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he couldn't get that one off. So,
Uh-huh,
We
uh-huh.
thought it was gonna happen.
or
Back to when
or
church
maybe
yesterday,
for
during
3 or
church
4 months in a
service,
row,
first service,
he never works on a Friday.
the
Uh-huh.
finance,
But-
you know,
That's like that guy I told you about.
What do they have in their contract as far as the ability to require a doctor's
Well,
notice?
he can at some
For just
point.
one
No,
shift?
I think he said he has to show a trend or something.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a number of days.
We had a guy.
How do you define a trend? Well,
Yeah.
We had a guy at
And it
Rockwell.
was a beep,
He missed
beep,
7 straight
beep,
Fridays.
sounded like a bomb.
So they
you know.
called him in, they wrote him up first, and then they called him in, they said, hey,
And they,
you miss
two of them
another
together
Friday,
was
you're
they
gonna
were
get
getting
30 days
directions,
off.
And they went to the
He
dump
didn't.
house.
He missed 7 straight
They got in
Mondays.
there.
They called him in, he said, I
He
like
had
my
on
3-day weekend.
Saturday.
That's what he told them.
Oh, God.
And they said, hey, guess what? You're gonna take 30 days because you've got it.
And he threw them away.
He said, but I didn't miss any Fridays. He said, we don't wanna hear no more
He said,
arguments out of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
I don't
It's
know.
a tough
It'd
problem.
be
I mean,
Huh?
He's investigating that, but I mean, he's not saying anything not yet publicly.
Sure.
He's just saying he's looking into it.
Yeah.
Church, we had Scott.
Now,
So,
if
Don,
you really-
how long
Yeah.
how long
Adam
has
Jones
Newark
Get
had
into it.
this
We saw him. Adam's
operation
see what's going
in
on.
where they're where they know how they would operate with only
Mom,
14
you know.
guys on? How long have they had? Does that predate Chief Connor?
It was 16 to start the year.
Oh, okay.
Adam got out there, they
That was
able
the
to
policy,
locate
but
it.
not
You
anything
know, that
written in the
building.
contract.
Yes, yes.
Because the previous one was, it was 19, they lost that in the
Yeah,
previous
he
contract, the union lost that.
Yes,
He had taken
yes.
So then it was 16 to start the
out
year,
near the Park
but
Station,
then,
or
it
fire
was maybe a
alarm.
month and a half
Yeah.
ago,
They
he went
replaced
to
them.
14.
And you just
Yeah.
gotta take the
There was
batteries
a
out.
Mother's Day weekend was really, they had,
Yeah, he
forget
was
how
just
many
ready to
called off,
call
but they
over
called
the
in
fire department
15.
because he said, I just can't stand
12-hour
to see something
shifts
blow up, you
each.
know?
So that's like
Especially
7
about
or
here.
7.5
Yeah.
for the 24
Yeah.
hour. They called in 15 that day.
Holy cow!
So that's was kind of the straw.
Did they order them in?
Through your church parking
No,
lot
they
every once in a
well,
while.
they called in.
Keep the
Yeah, I
mower
guess they order them in when they
over
call in the
Jay's house.
replacement.
I mean, because like ours,
Go get it.
if a shift is available,
Parking lot.
You know that.
somebody can volunteer to take it, and there's a list. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
go
think
down the
they go
list.
down the list.
Go down the list of, hey, would you like to work this shift? If nobody covers the shift, then there's the ordered overtime list. You say, okay, look,
Next size big.
You're in.
Bigger than
Right,
a
yeah, I
farm
think it's something
cup.
like that.
okay.
And then it's
From that
time and a half
Church
for
of God
those,
preacher up that
for
round
everybody
church.
that's called in.
Oh, okay.
And,
Wow.
and
So
Wilson,
you
he
could
said-
work it,
Pastor Wilson, he said,
I'm gonna
"Hey,
call
go
off
get home."
if I know that you're the next one, you're gonna
I'll
get
have
the
my wife
overtime.
bring me over here and I'll drive
Then
it.
maybe
He
you're-
said, "That's
you'll
You
fine."
pay
can
me back
you
later
can
on.
game the system that
They
way.
said there's
Yeah.
And
garden
you don't-
tractors
and
will
there's
go
no
faster
way
yet.
of
So I said, well, I don't want to
proving or
drive fast.
disproving.
Right.
I said, I won't drive on no roads. I won't
Not
drive
without
on
re-
roads.
but if you
not
really-
without requiring a
But
doctor's excuse
Hey,
each and every time.
Mayor,
My
you
own,
know, and I know,
my grandpa
thing
had
that would
a, I think it was
really stir up the
1940,
can of worms in this damn county.
1939.
Is to go to a damn metropolitan damn fire factory.
Well,
And I,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I
We
mean,
were talking
you
about
know
that
that's-
fire district.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Down the
I mean, that's
Yeah.
There was some resistance
My uncle
there.
lived out there.
Well, you know what?
till they passed their ordinances
And-
out,
and-
taxes
Yeah.
out there. That's what
Yeah.
done it.
Oh,
Exactly.
Once they got the money, then they say,
He
oh,
did it
well, we
one
don't
time.
have to look at that.
Yeah.
Said he's never.
Had they been
I
turned
still
down,
think
been a different
I still
story.
think that it is now. I mean, it doesn't solve all problems, but
we needed a horse. you know.
when you look at the,
you-
when you look at the
we needed a
mutual aid that we
horse for a
provide
couple
and
of
the
days.
mutual aid that we receive,
And
because
this
we receive
for Hayes,
mutual aid too.
April was
Hebron,
which is about
Hebron helps us out, you know, a lot.
18, 20 miles away, you know. He had a horse.
The way
And he
that
told Dad, he said,
fire
"Look
and
at that horse."
EMS
He said, "I never
protection
used it." Said he
is
just-
delivered
he gets nervous.
to the public.
So Dad took me over there.
We don't care much about city boundaries, you know. We don't, if help's needed and the help's available, then the help goes. So we don't have any of those territorial bickerings, you know. So we function in a lot of ways as if we're one department, you know. It doesn't matter what the corporation limit is, but we administrate in these silos of Granville and Newark and Heath and Hebron. And I think if you administrated the way that you operated, I've always thought that there would be efficiencies gained, you know, money to be saved, which you plow then back into additional boots on the ground or equipment that you need or whatever, but you operate more efficiently if you administrate the way that you are operating every day. But, you know, like I said, up until money wasn't an issue for some of the partners that we were talking to, you know, we were having conversations.
Maybe someday as the county grows and changes.
Grandpa had his tractor, they were.
Yeah.
And you know, you could look at it and say the same thing about a county police force. That's, you know, you take the policeman that you've got, you take the sheriff
Well, just like
and you just
when
make it like Dade County.
Well,
in
that's what I was going to say. I was just in Orlando. Now, there's Orlando
Soon as
City
the
Police,
Yeah.
but then everything else is Orange County Sheriff.
There you go.
When we lived there, you know, there were 10,000 people that lived in our community, but our law enforcement came from Orange County Sheriff.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll bet.
If you were to,
I don't remember
if you were to,
what, between my
if you were to
sophomore and junior year in high
do
school,
away with
this
the
guy-
current model of how fire and EMS
Lived in
services are
Tennessee,
delivered
but he'd been
in
up
this area
Detroit
and start it
for
from
years
scratch.
during the war.
I don't think you
And
would
him
build
as
it
well.
the
You wouldn't
way
end
that
up
it's
where you're at
currently
now.
built. Yeah, I don't think you would build it the way that we have. You know, and there's a lot of counties, particularly in the South,
So he
where
moved back down
where
there,
they've
he
gone
bought
to
a
the
place over
county-wide
close to where we live.
EMS
Yep.
or
Lexington,
whatever.
Kentucky, back in the
has
sixties
a
or
lot of timber.
seventies, it's Lexington, Fayette, Urban County
Yeah.
government. And they've
He had
got
somebody
one
come in and cut
countywide
one
police
of it.
force, fire, everything.
And he said, how in the world am I gonna get it out of
And
there?
there was some economy of scale there.
And,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
other guy
one
told me, he
chief.
said, "You'll have to get
Yeah.
me one."
Right?
Instead of
I mean,
five.
you
One
know?
chief instead of five.
Yeah.
Saving money right there.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Get it out.
So-
Kentucky is divided up into 120 counties. And it should
Is
be-
it really?
it
I
should
didn't
be.
realize there were that
That's a lot
many.
of counties for
Wow.
the population.
And many of them, the population, Lincoln County population of probably 5 counties. in
Uh-huh.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
They've got a county judge executive, they've got a county jailer, they've got county sheriff, and they've got all these, a school superintendent, county
And
schools.
he was
Uh-huh.
well trained, but
And-
temper, you know, you take him up and.
They could save so much money.
Yeah.
Look at the school system
Yeah.
in Lincoln County. How many school superintendents you got in Lincoln
Yeah,
County?
right.
Well,
How
that's
much money they knock
that's
down
that's
every year?
another model
Jeez.
that's different in a lot of in a lot of other states. Is you don't necessarily have all these individual, which, you know, like anything, things have their pluses and things have their minuses.
Yeah.
It's
You're
more
right.
efficient,
You're right.
but
All mules were named Jack.
is that off?
Jack or Ginger.
No. Well, then I won't say what I was going to say. Some parts of this county might not want their school systems tied so closely to the school systems of other parts of this county.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.